Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of First Class. I'm your host, Joey Bonsanti. Sitting across from me, as always, Tony Vegas, Tony P, the man.
Oh, no last initials here.
Hey, we're rolling with it, all right? Your name's out there. Everyone knows. You've been doxxed. So it's finally here. By the time you're listening to this, draft day, it's the night before. It feels like Christmas Eve right now.
Yeah.
Twitter, I feel like you fired off like 20 tweets today. I feel like the odds of Reese versus Bailey go back and forth. It's plus 105, and one guy's minus 115. Then it flips the next hour. Peter Schrager says something. David Bailey goes up to plus 15. Like it never ends. We're finally here. How are you feeling now as we approach 24 hours exactly from draft night?
Joey, I'm feeling good. You're totally right. It is legitimately Christmas Eve. I think I said that a few times at my day job today. My boss was in the office today, and he said, "How are you feeling about the draft?" I go, "I think I'm going to lay my outfit out for the next day, like it's the first day of school. Have my stupid fucking jet socks or something laid out." And yeah, I mean, couldn't come soon enough. We got Carson Beck in the first round talk. We've got Ty Simpson at 33 talk again. Just get here, man. Let's get the draft here. And you're right. This whole Reese versus Bailey, I don't want to call it nonsense because, it seems like nobody actually knows. But I'm just like sick of it, man. This isn't a quarterback. Like, I feel like we've argued so much. You'd think it's it's one of those like Baker versus Rosen versus Josh. It's like one of those.
Yeah.
It's over a defensive end. But we both feel strongly about it. And apparently so does everybody else. So let's talk about it, man. Might as well dive into it.
All right, yeah. So let's start there. We're going to kind of dive through the draft discourse, talk about some points, what Tony thinks is going to kind of unravel, and we'll go from there. So let's start with the number 2 overall pick, Reese versus Bailey. You guys know at this point where we stand. We're firmly on Reese. We were kind of talking before the episode transparently that we're preparing for a Bailey pick, and I'm not sure. Probably be a little upset just because I'm so dead set on Reese. But let's shift back to the discourse and what people are saying. What were you seeing on Twitter today, and some of the points that people were making from the mainstream media to the lovely Jets Twitter crowd?
Right. I mean, there's almost like a timeline of events you can look at. And today, so yesterday, Arvell Reese was minus 425 on draft books to be taken number 2 overall. And seemingly throughout yesterday, that flipped because I think Rappaport or Pelissero, then Schrager, all these guys started saying, "Hey, I haven't talked to anybody in the Jets building, but everybody else is saying they're probably going to take Bailey." So, obviously people that aren't like as in the weeds are going to take that, say, "Oh shit, Bailey's going too. Let me try to make some money off of this." So the odds flip back. Bailey was a favorite. And it comes to today where these prospects were actually being interviewed today. Like we got FaceTime with them on camera, and usually it's a nothing burger. Like I never really take away much from this, but I mean, David Bailey got on camera and was asked, what was your process like with the Jets? And one of his answers was legitimately, I met with Monty, who's the Arizona Cardinals GM, and, don't kill me for holding him accountable on that. He said it like 4 times. So I don't know if he's mistaken or what, but called him Monty. When asked how the actual interview went at the combine, he goes, "I don't know. I did like 12 of them." This is a guy that graduated Stanford in 3 years, by the way. Like David Bailey's
insanely smart, yeah.
Like a really smart guy, not dumb, like not some jock. He's a smart guy. So Joey, imagine you're interviewing for a company, right? You try to learn all about the company to interview well, the CEO's name, all this stuff. We both forget things, but would you forget the CEO of that company's name? Would you?
Probably not.
Probably not, right? You'd probably say Darren Muji, the Jets GM. It was nice talking to Darren, not Monty, the other fucking CEO for another company you're interviewing for. That's just a crazy mix up to me. And we had a tweet a few, maybe like an hour ago from Ian Rappaport. And it goes, there's expected to be significant trade interest in the 3rd overall pick if Arvell Reese falls to the pick. Dude, I'm putting my tinfoil hat on. Okay, I'm getting fired up right now, but I'm putting my tinfoil hat on. I think outside teams think that Woody Johnson and the Jets are so fucking stupid they can convince them to take David Bailey at number 2. I'm convinced that's what's happening. And by the way, knowing Woody Johnson, do you think he's gonna fucking pay a kid $40 million guaranteed and not even meet him? Not bring him into the facility, not have him meet all the defensive line coaches, get all their contacts, start chatting, because that's how this thing works, right? Like, people talk and they know where they're going typically before. So you think Woody Johnson's the type of owner to just say, yeah, you know what, 40-year-old Darren Muji, you got it. Don't even fucking bring him in. I don't want to meet the kid. Do whatever you want and take him. You think that's the case? Just the whole thing seems very fishy to me. And you have every single national reporter saying, oh, they're going with Bailey. Oh, I heard it's Bailey. It's Bailey. But it just doesn't add up to me. And then in the same fucking article, they will, in their article, say, yeah, but I haven't talked to anybody with the Jets. Nobody actually knows. So, okay, man, I don't care who the fucking Titans think the Jets are taking, because the Titans aren't the Jets. I don't care who the Cardinals think they're taking. Cardinals aren't the Jets. Tell me who they're taking right now if you've talked to somebody with the Jets, and you haven't. You're just talking to the other teams, trying to get Arvell Reese to fall past number 2. I think it's a fucking scam. I think the Jets are going with Arvell Reese, number 2 tomorrow. I'm fully expecting it.
Wow. Just an absolute heater from Tony there. As I'm sitting back here just watching potential clip on Twitter pop out right there.
I haven't done that in a minute.
That must have felt good. That's about 10 tweets today from what he was trying to say online into a podcast episode. I'm not nearly as passionate about this part of the year, like this discourse, because I feel like it's such like slosh almost, where it's like,
it is.
I mean, we're literally going back and forth for the past 60 days about these two guys. And it's at the point where we're 24 hours out and I'm okay with sitting back, not tweeting anything out, not going on a rant, let it get to me, which I'm not saying you shouldn't have done. That is completely fine by you. And I see your frustration. I agree with you. I think, honestly, your point there about other teams trying to convince the Jets because they're so goddamn dumb to take David Bailey at number 2 is actually probably a real theory. I've thought about this even more, and I have to give credit to the Badlands guys because they mentioned this morning on their podcast about if the Jets end up taking David Bailey, like there's going to be a lot of leaks, right? Like we're at the point
saw that
in 2026 where everyone's saying, well, the Jets building is not leaky at all. Right. If they take David Bailey, you look about 2 weeks ago when there was a giant, major tide, huge flip of where David Bailey was supposed to go number two overall. That would be very concerning. And that point almost makes sense because then you look at the canceled visit. Did something get out where Darren Muji's like, oh shit, like everyone knows we're taking him, so we have to cancel the visit to make it look like we're taking Reese now? Again, this is all speculation within 24 hours. But if they do end up taking Reese, let's just say, right, they have done an amazing job of flip-flopping between the national media saying one thing, beat reporters saying the other. No one knows what the hell the Jets are doing right now. So to Muji's credit, to the organization's credit, this has been the first time where I feel like there's really no inkling to what the Jets are doing 24 hours prior to the draft.
But there is an inkling. Every single national reporter is saying David Bailey. So Connor Rogers said, was it Connor Rogers? I think it was him. He was dead on. If you actually end up taking David Bailey,
yes,
and by the way, he made another great point. It opens you up to being like, okay, if this doesn't work out, you fucking took this kid and you didn't even bring him in the facility and have him meet everybody.
Horrible.
And it didn't work out. Meanwhile, you got Arvell Reese, who is a specimen. You brought him in. Everything, Joey, just adds up And if you take away Ian Rappaport and Tom Pelissero and Todd McShay.
Todd McShay, who changes his mind every afternoon.
Dude, Todd McShay could fucking fart the wrong way and be like, oh shit, it's Arvell Reese now. He'd be like, oh, they ate something weird, it's Bailey. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? Are you okay? Is Todd McShay okay? I'm dead serious. Is he like, I don't want to throw is he okay? I don't know.
Yeah, leave it at that.
We'll leave it at that. If you just take all of them out of it and you just read the tea leaves, you do some comprehensive thinking of how these guys acted on, and we didn't even get into how Arvell Reese met the coaching staff, was explained, installs, and had Glenn personally tell him how he was a great fit for the defense, all this stuff. It just screams to me, okay, they're going to, and by the way, as I'm yelling about all this, Arvell Reese is the current betting favorite to be the pick at number 2 by a hair, but he is the current favorite. So, I mean, kudos to Muji and co, man, because you're right. If they do end up taking Reese and it's just like, wow, everybody else, you had Schefter, Rappaport, all these guys, Pelissero, all these guys picking someone else at the number 2 pick. Like, that doesn't happen.
No.
It doesn't happen. Usually we know by now, but I mean, let's just say they take Reese, and at this point, it'll be exciting for the rest of the night because, we have the 16th pick. But in the back of my head, I'm going to be thinking like, okay, I liked everything this guy did in free agency. I like all the trades he's made. He put the national media in a fucking pretzel, which this team has never done, ever. Everyone's like, oh, they're going to do the circus move, all this stuff. They're full of leaks. You got Rodgers coming in. Everything's getting on McAfee and all this stuff. And you go from the media having no idea what you're doing at number 2. That's pretty impressive, in my opinion. That's how you turn shit around.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was a great point about if Bailey is the pick and he looks horrible, didn't even have him in the building. That's like borderline malpractice. So
malpractice.
Yeah, it really is. And that would be, we're not there yet. Obviously, these are discussions we could have tomorrow after the pick is made. We both are down on Bailey, but me personally, I think there's a world where you can really sell me on him being an immediate impact. Not again, I hate the mantra of, oh, well, it's the it's the easy drive down the fairway. It's the layup. It's the easy pick.
I disagree.
That doesn't really make sense. I think they're both going to grow into a better player in 2 or 3 years. There is no, and by the way, I would never take a sure thing at 2. This is the number 2 fucking overall pick in the draft. You're swinging for the fences. You're swinging for the superstar, which is what I believe Arvell Reese can be. David Bailey's ceiling to me is probably like maybe makes an all-pro one season, and he has, consistently in the 10 to 15 sack range, which I would take.
Great.
I want the guy on defense who could line up anywhere. I want the guy who could end up being, who has Micah Parsons qualities. Not saying he is Micah Parsons, but something he could potentially turn into that. He could potentially turn into a nasty edge. He could play linebacker. He could line him up in the fucking slot if you want. Like you put him anywhere. He's a heat-seeking missile, and I feel like that is the correct pick for this defense. And hell, if the season goes awry and Aaron Glenn gets fired, you can't tell me that another coach would want to come in and be like, wow, fucking Arvell Reese is as my joker on the defensive side of the ball. So I think either way, it works out really well for you. We have a version of Bailey and McDonald already. I don't see a reason why you should go out and get David Bailey with the number 2 overall pick, in my opinion.
And we said it pre-show. I mean, if they take Bailey, he's 2 years, 3 years older, 2.5 years older. He better come in and produce.
Yep, exactly.
For a team that just won 3 games, that's what we're valuing here. I don't know. And you also look at Darren Muji's comments the other day. He's like, the draft is a projection. We think about how these guys project, and we take every single comment he's ever made. Dude, he is so big on arm length. He's so big on, physical attributes, 40-yard. He literally said, that's how we operate. The Membu pick, he was a little shorter side for tackle, so it went against it a little bit, but he values that type of stuff. In a specific interview I'm thinking of when he was with Denver, that's like what he was harping on. So you have legitimately the perfect example of that sitting in front of you. And, he's going to go number 3 if you don't take him at number 2. I can't say that David Bailey is going to go number 3 if you don't take him. He might fall to 5.
I think that's the difference, right? I think
that should be it.
I agree.
Everybody wants this guy. Let me take this guy that might go 6. Like, no. Take the guy that's going to go 3 if he doesn't go 2 every time.
What will really be the gut punch is if there's a team who actually would trade up, and the Cardinals would be like, all right, if we want to trade back 2 or 3 spots to get a tackle or get Jeremiah Love or whatever the case may be, and there's a team who actually comes up and gets Arvell Reese. That's going to really.
Also, why would they trade up to number 3 and not number 2?
Yeah, no, you're right. That actually debunks that theory right there, because you'd rather just have your pick of the 2. But yeah, it's good. It's going to be interesting tomorrow, and we're going to know pretty quickly within the first 25 minutes of the draft who the Jets have selected, and we'll see. I mean, I can't wait to get on the podcast and actually break down a draft pick. That's all. Number 16, I want to kind of just run through it. First off, the Jets have I think 9 picks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. How many do you think that they end up leaving? Like, how many players did they end up leaving with? Whether that be more or less based on trades. I feel like they come away with probably 8. I was thinking about potentially 7, but it depends on where they trade up in the draft in later rounds. I think they do end up losing a pick, gaining some spots in the draft, and grabbing 8 players.
I think that's going to happen in the first round. I think it's going to be Reese number 2, and I know people have been saying this, but like, I could totally see a trade up with like the Chiefs or the Saints, dude, to hop the Giants and take Jordan Tyson. Like, that's very well in the possibility. I also heard that this is all coming out. I wish we recorded a little earlier. I also heard that Jordan Tyson, very strong possibility to go number 5 to the Giants. I think they're very high on him, and they know if they don't take him at 5, a team like the Jets with pick 44 and 33 and all this capital could come up, hop them for Tyson, and take their, the receiver 1 in the class. So I think they're going to end up trading up. I think Tyson might go 5, and then they might trade up for Carnell Tate. But that's my prediction. I don't think they make the selection at 44.
Okay, that's fair. If I had to predict, and this is not what I want to happen, I just have a weird gut feeling they're going corner at 16. It's going to really piss me off.
Ooh.
What?
Ooh, Colton Hood?
Probably Hood. I don't.
That'd be bad.
I know. I feel like with what we've all been hearing, that they view that more of a need than I think. The cornerback is pretty low for me in this draft, and I would be thoroughly upset if they took a corner at number 16. What we want them to do and what they actually will do are 2 different things. If it were me, I'd be super uber aggressive, go up and try to get Jordan Tyson. I think he kind of crazy in the past 3 weeks has literally climbed up to my number 1 wide receiver in the draft.
I could have told you that was going to happen.
I know.
April 17th workout was genius work by his agent. The second I saw that, I'm like, he's going before 16.
It's so now, we didn't talk about the Giants trading Dexter Lawrence for the 10th pick. Now they have 5 and 10. I don't buy that they're taking Jordan Tyson with number 5. I think I see a world, honestly, where they could go like Styles and Downs, and they would just bolster the defense. John Harbaugh gets his like Kyle Hamilton on steroids, and they have just Sonny Styles and Downs, and they tie the defense up in a bow and call it a day. That's my feeling on it. I don't think they're going to go offense. And I do think that I also feel like Tyson could be the first receiver off the board. So it might have to be a trade up to 7 to get Tate. How would I feel if it was Reese and Lemon? I'd feel good. I would just feel amazing.
Great.
If it, what? No, it's great. If he makes it up there, but I do feel like he'd be a great fit in LA with the Rams.
I know, it's so obvious.
It seems like such a fit, right? So let's just say, I'm going to say corner. That's my guess. That's polar opposite of what I want to happen. 33, what's your feeling? Do they stick? Do they move back? What's your gut feeling 24 hours from, or I guess 48 hours?
I think they might move back if they end up trading up in the first.
Okay.
For like maybe a team wants Ty Simpson, dude. Like that's very real. And I don't think it's excuse me.
God bless.
I don't think it's going to be the Jets that end up taking Simpson. Like I think Schrager mentioned that today. I disagree with that. I think that's smoke to potentially move back from 33. I don't know if there's like a player. We don't know though. Like maybe Denzel Boston's there at 33 and you're like, fuck it. Let's just get the receiver room done. imagine you get like Tyson and Denzel Boston, dude. You're like, holy shit.
I feel pretty good.
You'd probably have to go like guard or like maybe safety. You know, you would know his name, Emmanuel, the safety.
Oh, no. McNeil Warren.
McNeil Warren. Rumors that he could fall to number 33. I think that would be a good pick, there. But maybe you could trade back and get him. I think I don't know. It depends, man. Like, who's there? I have no idea. It's so tough to predict. Like, I feel very strongly about them going Arvell Reese and receiver at some point in the first round. Do they double down if you get a receiver at like number 8? I don't think so, right? Probably not.
Probably not. No, I wouldn't think so. Because then you're not going to have the 44 pick anymore, and you're going to have to use 33 on something else.
And do you take a backup lineman, like a guard at 33? That seems like a weird pick to me, to be honest.
I don't think that a pick at 33 of a guard is a backup. I think that's someone who could potentially be a starter.
For who?
Dylan Parham?
I don't know. Parham would be a very expensive backup lineman in that case, who's probably starting potential.
His incentives, though, when you look at that deal, it's essentially a 1 year, $7 million deal.
That's it, $7 million.
Yeah, with before the incentives and stuff that kick in. Let me ask you this: let's say the Jets end up sticking and picking in all of their first 44 picks. Let's say they go Reese, they get Omar Cooper, then they get an offensive guard.
Okay,
you're sitting there at 44, and Ty Simpson's there. What do you think the Jets are going to do? And what would you do if you were in that situation?
44, man. I think I would. Oh my God. I think I can't take him. I don't think I would take him in this draft. I don't think so. Because what, are you going to bench Geno at some point during this year? Because you have to see what he has, Like, I just don't think you bench Geno at any point in 2026, 2027, whatever. I think you'd have to pass on him at 44. You'd have no opportunity to see him and see if he's worth passing on the 2027 class. You have a guy that can start the whole year. You literally went out and got him.
I'd take him. I would take him at 44. I don't think it's the smartest thing to do, but again, it's solely because I think that's really good value for him. I think he is realistically should probably go in the 25 to 35 range. If you can get him at 44, I'd feel pretty damn good. I'm very high on Ty Simpson. But again, it depends on how the first 3 picks go, right? If they're in a position where they can get someone at a position that fell really far, I mean, I'm even talking a receiver at that point too. Like, if they get Omar Cooper, everyone knows how we both feel. We've aligned a ton on this year's players and this year's draft, which is very weird.
I'll drive back to Connecticut and punch you if they take David Bailey and Omar Cooper.
I didn't say David Bailey, did I?
I know. I'm just saying if that's.
You'll punch me. Okay, I don't know how I get the punch, but
yeah, I'm punching somebody. You're sitting here right now,
and my face looks pretty punchable to you. But yeah, I think I'd probably take him at 44. I have no feeling that the Jets are going to take him at all. That's my feeling. I feel like they're just going to stockpile players in those top 50 picks. So yeah, I don't really want to go too much further than this. Like, obviously, once we don't have a third round pick right now. I do think that's probably going to change, whether it be they trade back. God, if there is a trade back opportunity at 2, I don't think there will be, but if there is, that would look nice. Now you're talking. Go ahead.
I'm looking at Dana Jeremiah's draft that literally just dropped
right now.
Final mock draft. Yeah. Okay. Then Bailey at number 2. Then Arvell Reese to the Saints because they trade up for him.
Yeah.
What the fuck are we doing? Nobody's trading up for David Bailey, and then they trade up to Robert. It makes no sense.
Yeah, that's something that I mentioned. Maybe teams are high on Arvell, but are more like, I'd rather just wait and see if he makes it. If not, fuck it. That's kind of what I felt when I said it earlier.
What? Omar Cooper at 16.
I will tell you right now, if the Jets do take David Bailey and Omar Cooper, I will be very upset.
I'll be upset. I'll be like, get these guys the hell out of here. Time is up. That's insane to do. I mean, god damn, man.
Listen, I mean, if that situation ended up happening, I'd be more Probably more mad at them taking Omar Cooper at 16.
No,
There is, because David Bailey, at least I'm gonna throw my hands up and I'm gonna say, all right, you feel like he's gonna fit into the defense? Better be a 3-down player. He better develop quickly, and he better sack the fucking quarterback 15 or 16 times this year. And if that doesn't happen, I will throw a fit.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. There's nothing you could do. So, any other draft notes? 25 minutes in here talking about fucking David Bailey.
I know. I mean, shit. I was gonna drop all my notes, but maybe I'll do that tomorrow or something. I know the Browns are looking at a tackle. I know the Giants don't want Sonny Styles. I think he's gonna go to the who's picking 7? Commanders at number 7.
Could see that.
So I'll just rip through it. Ready? I think it's gonna.
Who's getting Jeremiah Love?
I think it's gonna go. It's going to go 3 or 4, I think. I think it's going to be 3 or 4.
I can't see the Titans taking him, bro. I really can't.
Me neither. So I think it's going to go Mendoza, Reese, Love, number 3.
I think Love goes 3.
Bailey, number 4. Jordan Tyson, number 5. Maui Goa or whoever, one of the tackles at number 6. Sonny Styles, number 7. Who's number 8? Saints,
I believe. I could pull up the draft order for you, though.
Yeah, it's the Saints at number 8. I don't even know what they need. So skip the Saints.
Number 9's the Chiefs.
Chiefs. Ooh, fuck. Do they get fucking Cardinal Tate maybe? And then I think Downs at number 10. I don't know the Saints or Chiefs, but like I've heard rumblings about the other ones. The Lions want to tackle at number 17. I think the Saints could probably take a receiver too. Right? I don't know who they have. They have Olave.
That's it. Really? And they got rid of Shaheed.
Yeah. I could see them taking Tate. That would make sense to me.
You also left out Ruben Bain.
Oh, I did.
He drops down there. Does New Orleans take Ruben Bain? Does Kansas City take Ruben Bain?
I think Kansas. Okay, does he fit their system? I have no idea, but okay.
Also, Fano too. That's another guy. Like, if he's starting to fall into the 9, 10, 11, who's taking him?
Yeah.
I'm throwing a bunch of questions at you just because there's a lot of really good players.
10. My top 10 is Mendoza, Reese, Love, Bailey, Tyson, tackle, Styles, fucking receiver at number 8, whoever's picking there, Ruben Bain, and then
Caleb
Downs at number 10. That's what I think it's going to be.
I wholeheartedly disagree on Tyson, but
all right, let's see.
We'll see. I see them going defense all the way. So
your boy Jeremy Fowler said Tyson at number 5, I think.
I'm also coping. Like you've seen how much I've grown to love this guy in the past month, and every single week leading up to the draft is just me coping and hoping the Jets can get him. It's the classic injury guy, might drop in the late first, and now he's just the best receiver in the draft 4 weeks later. So
I don't know if he's going to drop. I think people in this week of a draft, I think people are just going to be like, all right, fuck it, let's just take him. If he works out, we look like geniuses in a shitty draft and end up with a receiver 1. If he doesn't, shucks, the receiver, the injuries got us.
You ready? Quick before we go to voicemails and questions. Best case scenario at 2 and 16. Absolute worst case scenario at 2 and 16.
Worst, Bailey Cooper. Best, Reese. And really at 16, realistically, like Lemon.
Yeah, I would say that's my best. I think my worst is like Bailey in a corner.
Oh, yeah. Next. All right, voicemails. I've yelled
voicemail. All right, Chris from Jersey. Let's hear it.
What's up, guys? Chris from Jersey.
Yeah.
Turnpike. I haven't called recently. It's such a boring time of year. Question. Season ticket rep keeps bugging me, calling me every day, trying to get me to get season tickets. What do you think the Jets could do in this draft that would make next year's team the most fun? Maybe not necessarily the best, but probably the most enjoyable product to view. Honestly, it's pretty chalk, but Arvell Reese and a wide receiver, honestly, that's kind of fun. It might get me to do it. And then follow-up question. Just came across my desk that Pickensburg blitzed Icyberg. I hope you guys are online enough to know about that. But is there any Twitter accounts you would blitz if you saw them in the wild? This is running really long. Have a good day, boys.
Okay,
Wait,
so
what's that last part?
So Pickensburg, you don't know Pickensburg? He's like some goofball Steelers fan.
I do know who that is.
Yeah, he blitzed Icy Verts, who is a goofball. He was the goofball with the Jalen Hurts thing.
What do you mean blitzed him?
Did he pull up on him?
I don't know, dude. This is crazy.
All right, assuming it means pull up on, I'd pull up on Nick Spano right now, bro. I'd pull up. His shit gets me so fired up. I'm kidding, Nick. We love you over here. I think it's just fun poking
fun and games.
It's fun and games. Him and Frankie Vitz.
I would take on Frankie Vitz. I'd blitz Frankie.
Yeah, I don't know who's bigger and like who would.
I think Frankie's
I think Frankie might be a big guy.
Yeah, he's a big dude. He would take me down in 2 seconds probably.
He'd probably kill me too. So
all right, let's answer the question. I have my answer here. I'm ready to go. I think if you're talking about most fun, well, first of all, Chris, don't buy season tickets. That's the worst investment you can make right now. Anyways, the most fun, probably Jeremiah Love and a receiver.
Oh.
That's the most fun. You're looking at Breece Hall, Jeremiah Love, Garrett Wilson, Jordan Tyson, A.D. Mitchell, Mason Taylor. Fuck it. Trade back up. Go get Sadiq in the first round too.
I think you might be right. I think the most fun would be Reese, Sadiq, Denzel Boston, and then Ty Simpson at 44.
That would be a lot of fun. I mean, you want to talk about trying to sell some tickets. I'd be like, all right, I'm kind of in.
Yeah, I'd be like, holy shit, what the hell did they just do? Like, that could have the potential to be a franchise-altering draft.
Yeah.
If it all works out. You get a stud tight end. You get a receiver 2. Like, you filled the need of receiver 2. You get a potential quarterback and your potential defensive player of the year candidate. I think that would be an irresponsibly fun draft. But if they did it, I'd be like, why don't hats off? Fuck it. And then you have 3 first-round picks going into next year. I'm going to have season tickets regardless.
Yeah, well, you don't pay for them. Anyways.
Whoa. All right.
Anyways, we had a personal text come in. We met PSU Joe at the Badlands thing. Great. I mean, what an awesome dude. He texts us today with 2 questions. If the Jets trade with the Titans and move into the 4th slot, and the first 3 picks are Mendoza, Reese, and Bailey, who are you taking at 4? Would you entertain trading down again for someone who wants to come up ahead of the Giants? Tony?
Dude, at 4, I think I would just take a receiver. I'm dead serious.
Yeah. No. I mean, you might as well because
Sonny Styles. No, I might take Sonny Styles. That'd be a fun pick.
I'd be cool with Sonny Styles. I'm actually very high on him. Not a blazing hot take or anything.
Oh yeah.
I'm in love with the.
You're a trailblazer, Joey.
Yeah.
I tell you.
But the run of wide receivers will start probably at 5 to 7 range. So if you take one at 4, that's not like crazy, right? So I kind of agree with you. It's probably Styles or a receiver.
I would go Tyson or Sonny Styles in that case. I would not trade back further.
PSU Joe's right, though. There's going to be a team in that scenario who'd want to come up for Love.
Oh, that's a good point.
Because Love hadn't been chosen. What'd you say?
You could trade back with like the Chiefs.
I would trade back with the Chiefs, right? Although they just got Kenneth Walker, but that'd be pretty insane offense with Love and him. You would still probably be able to get a receiver there, one of the top 3 guys.
Yeah, you'd probably get Carnell Tate at number 9, and you'd probably pick up like that that Trent McDuffie pick.
Yeah. Oof. They'd be looking at a lot of picks there. All right. His second question is, what is it with all the craziness around Bailey? I mean, Joe, we just spent the first 30 minutes talking about
I directed you to the 3 minute to 7 minute mark where I just blew a gasket on camera. And I almost want Joey to put bleeps over this to see what it sounds like. What the fuck? Just, oh my God. Yeah, I think it's Reese.
I think we had one more on Twitter. Let me go grab it. From Steve Spaccarelli. Will the wide receiver trade up hopes get shattered like Odunze last year? There's a very real chance that happens. If a wide receiver run happens from picks 5 to 9, it's over. And if there's a team that's sitting there that wants the receiver, there's a lot of teams from that 5 to 9 slot that would take a receiver. Giants, Chiefs, Saints, like the Dolphins need one before us. The Rams, there's a lot of teams, right? I just don't know who's trading back. Probably the Commanders is our only hope if the Giants take one.
I could see the Saints doing it.
Trading back.
Saints, yeah.
Yeah.
I could see the Chiefs trading back too. I mean, listen, man, you dangle 44 in their face and you still have pick 33. Like, that's real. That's like a very valuable pick. And like, I don't know, man. Like, I'd rather, dude, they're in scary hours at receiver. Like, they are in scary hours. You need a rookie that could actually produce right away. You're not going to find that at 44. Like,
I know.
You're just not, unless you get like a fucking AJ Brown type hit, which, like, how often does that happen?
Might not even find it at 16 if the other 3 guys go. Hell,
No,
there could be
dude.
4 receivers taken. You don't
And this
know.
would be the second year in a row where they really fuck the receiver room up. If they don't do this right, I just think they almost pigeonholed themselves into like a trade up. I swear to God, like, you have to get one of Tyson or Tate. I don't know.
It's either that or they take an Omar Cooper and then they trade the 44 pick away and get Brian Thomas Jr.
What if they don't want to trade? And like, Omar Cooper is not.
I'm not saying that would be like, they would have to know that trade is going to go through. You're right though. They've pigeonholed themselves here. This is now 2 years in a row, and it's arguably a shit ton worse this year now.
It has the potential to be very alarming of like the regime as a whole. Like, I just glazed Muji for a second, but like, I mean, if he doesn't end up with one of these top 3 guys, I'm going to be like, okay, like, you're fucking around with, a very important position again. And I don't know.
I agree. All right, let's wrap it there. You guys are listening to this on Thursday morning. It's Wednesday night. I'm pretty damn nervous for tomorrow night or tonight. Any final thoughts? I'm locking in Reese as my 2 guy. I really do have a gut feeling they're going to take him.
I
Is
do
he your final like gut feeling take here?
Yes,
for
he
number
is.
2. Okay.
I'm not going to waver off of it. I everything has told me that it's going to be him, and I'm not going to pussy out at the last minute.
All right. Well, that sounds good to me. I agree. So go follow us on Twitter at First Class Pod. We're on Patreon. We're on Spotify, YouTube, and Apple. Go follow Tony at Tony Payments. Go follow me at Alan Hundos. Everyone's just got to stay calm, and we're gonna get this thing right tonight. And we'll wake up, and Friday night will be great. And I think we're gonna try to get an episode out Friday. To reactions to the pick. I know you got the Winters Bros charity
on Thursday, but I'm gonna be sleeping. I'm gonna be back in Stanford. Are you? You're.
We'll take this offline. We'll have an episode out for you guys on Friday. We'll take it easy. Go Jets, and good luck in the draft tomorrow night to every Jet fan. See you guys.